It is really bright today. All right, so in today's video, I want to talk about Fujifilm recipes, my favorite ones, how it changed my entire workflow, and how you can get the best out of the new Fujifilm X app. But first, let me go back home, let me take a shower, and let's talk about it. Like that stick? Say hi, Sunny. I needed to find a quieter place to film because there were so many people and kind of made me feel a bit awkward. Today's video, I want to talk about something that I've been using a lot lately, and it is the Fujifilm recipes. We know that Fujifilm are really good when it comes to color science, and their recipes are talked about the whole time. But what is the hype behind all these Fujifilm recipes, and what are Fujifilm recipes? So let's start with that. Sunny. Okay, so if you haven't heard yet or you haven't seen on the internet yet what a Fujifilm recipe is, it's basically built-in profile pictures or simulations that give you a certain look with your photos or your videos. Fujifilm has several of these baked into the camera, and you can just simply select the one that you want and shoot with the picture profile or the film recipe that you want. Now, the power of Fujifilm recipes comes from the fact that you can customize these recipes to your own liking. So you can change the amount of clarity, the grain, the noise reduction, the color, the saturation, the white balance. You can change so much. Hey, come back. Okay, so now that you know what a film recipe is and how it works, what is the point of this video? So ever since I started using Fujifilm recipes, my entire workflow has completely changed. And I'll talk more about this later on in the video. But first, I want to discuss what are the benefits of using Fujifilm recipes. All right, so we found a nice quiet parking lot because there was a lot of people around. What I want to talk about specifically is the benefits of using Fujifilm recipes and one or two drawbacks that I think are important to talk about. Now, the first benefit that comes with Fujifilm recipes, and that is so obvious, it's the file size. So when you use a Fujifilm recipe, it only affects the JPEGs of the image, and it doesn't affect the raw photos. So check out these file sizes right here. 20 megabytes, 19 megabytes, 21 megabytes. It's pretty much half of what a raw file is, which is usually around 57 megabytes or 55 megabytes, obviously depending on your sensor. You're going to be saving a lot of storage when it comes to shooting with recipes. Number two, what is so good about Fujifilm recipes? Well, it's the fact that you can customize and make your own recipe. And the thing is, when you customize and you make your own recipe, you're basically creating your own style. And everyone says when it comes to photography that you have to have a specific style. And sometimes it takes you years to develop this. It took me around 2 to 3 years to actually know what my style is. So don't be afraid to try out new Fujifilm recipes to find your own style. All right, TTC, let's go, baby. All right, yep. So now you created your own Fujifilm recipe, you have your own style, things are going great for you. So what's the point of post-processing? Gotta love living in the city. Created now your own style. If you check out my latest grid on Instagram, when the weather suddenly changed from cold to spring and summertime, my entire grid changed to greens and yellows. And that is not by accident. That is because I'm using a new Fujifilm recipe that I really like. Now, we all know film has never died, and it's always here, and it's always going to make a comeback. People love film. They just love the look of film. Nostalgia just, sells. And if you don't have a film camera, and rolls nowadays are pretty much expensive, you can probably just create your own film recipe that simulates whatever film stock you like, and you can basically take photos and just post them on your social media. It's that easy. Some of you are gonna be in the comments and they're gonna go, well, Mr. Taha, Mr. Snaps by Taha, why would I even shoot in JPEG when the whole reason I bought this camera, this expensive piece of gear, is to shoot RAW? Well, you can set your camera to shoot both RAW and JPEG. So that way you've saved your film recipe file, the JPEG file, and you've also saved your RAW file, and you can edit that in post. But this is where the problem comes in. file sizes. So now you have two files that are around 70 to 80 megabytes combined. So this is where you have to make a decision. When do you want to shoot RAW? When do you want to shoot JPEG? Or when do you want to shoot both? How has Fujifilm and their recipes changed my entire workflow? First things first, my processing time, almost gone, non-existent. All the post-processing takes me like a minute. If I find a photo that I really, really like, and I feel like it warrants a bit of changes, a bit of tweaks, a bit of contrast maybe, then I would definitely import that and just, you know, work with that and just basically tweak that photo to the way I like. In my opinion, the important reason why I'm using more Fujifilm recipes, other than to be consistent and have a consistent style, it honestly makes daily photography just way easier. If you're going out every day to take photos, you're taking around 100 to 200 photos, then you have to go back home, gonna have to cull through them, you know, sort them out, pick the ones that you really like, import all the raw files, post-process each one that you like, and then you have to post, right? But doing that every single day on a consistent basis is definitely draining and definitely tiring. And it got to a point where I'm walking out on the street, and instead of focusing on just enjoying my time and having a good time doing photography and the thing that I love the most, I'm mostly just focusing on how many raw files I have to import and how many raw files I have to edit. And that just took all the fun out of photography for me. So the number one main reason why I suggest to try recipes is basically to enjoy photography again. And I'm 100% sure that you will get to a point where you are going to be drained if you're taking raw files every day and you're shooting raw every day. There's 1,000 rats that just walked in front of me. Holy, going back this way. Don't be afraid to shoot JPEG. Don't be afraid to use film recipes. Don't be afraid to post them on your social media, even though you're gonna get judged, even though it might not be the most amazing, perfect photo of all time, but sometimes you have to try, you have to experiment. Now, to find the recipes that you want, and the best website to find these Fujifilm recipes is Fuji Weekly. Just Google search Fuji Weekly. I'll leave the link right here, and I'll leave it in the description below. And basically you can just go on the website. You can sort by the type of camera that you have, basically sort by the sensor of the camera that you have. And based on that, you will find all the recipes that you can implement on said camera. Finally, what is the big tip that I can give you guys? If you haven't updated to the new Fujifilm app, the new X app, I highly encourage you to do so. Here's why. I'm going to show you how to do this. What you want to do is you want to create your own custom Fujifilm recipes. You can create up to 6, 7, depends on the camera that you have, but create as many as you want. Then what you do is you go on the app and then you back up your settings. You back up your camera settings. And when you back up your camera settings, then everything you've already created will be saved on the phone or on the app. Then what you do is you open up your camera again, you create new recipes, and you back those up too. Now you can switch between all those recipes. Let's say my camera, you can create up to 7. I can now switch between 14 different recipes super quickly. This app is absolutely amazing. The new app is really good. Just the fact that you can back up settings and back up recipes and then restore them just makes everything so convenient. Yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say for today's video. This is me walking around walking away from all those rats. And here's Sunny right here walking with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna post in the description some of my favorite recipes and the ones that I highly suggest for you to try. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with some photos that I took using these recipes. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be going back home tomorrow, and yeah, expect some great content from Lebanon. Vlogs, astrophotography, sunrise photography. It's gonna be fun. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.